Stolen patience and bitter grins between my little flitting hopeless nights I've been.
Hi. Due to popular demand and sheer power of will, I'm back. I've learnt a lot from my first video. The budget has been increased exponentially, as you can see. Your comments have been noted and I now know what not to call homeless people. And I'm going to bleep all the curse words to keep it fully PG. Jazz. Let's talk about it. What is jazz? Why does jazz? Jazz? Yes. Jazz has a lot of misconceptions. On asking people what they think online, I had a multitude of responses. People, and I quote, reply that the genre is old news, irrelevant, lame, please stop messaging. Someone told me, Niall, Jazz is dead. I said, I didn't even know she was ill. After a quick Ask Jeeves, I found out that jazz is much more than a single personal entity. It could be defined by its style of improvisation, performance techniques, and swinging syncopated rhythms. But there's so much more to it than that. It originated around 1900, but I'm not going to give you another history lesson. Instead, I'll summarise a century's music history, culture, and politics in an easy to understand diagram. I'm a man of facts and reason, but this is the part of the show where I get soppy and open up. Jazz isn't that bad. Look at me getting all emotional. I like it. It's a genre that's probably about more than just smoking cigars, wearing black suits, being blind and wearing shades on stage. Probably. Maybe it's about more than impressing a crush or pissing off the singer in your metal band. As a drummer who's seen it live countless times, clocked up hours on my Jazz Vibes playlist, and gigged and practiced with different types of jazz bands, I see it as an outlet to really express yourself as a musician. The drummer's role here is vital. Like in all music, the drummers are the most important part of the group. Jazz or any music without drums is like Popeye without spinach. Jazz drumming is the art of letting other musicians have a go at feeling important, no matter how less impressive they are than the drummer. The only exception will forever be the legendary Ron Burgundy and his jazz flute. I'll use an analogy to help you understand. The drummer's job here is to wait, comping with the rhythm section like a majestic seagull. You circle your prey while they're playing their solos and the tunes hit the head section. But when the time is right, you swoop in, playing as unnecessarily fast and crazy as you can to take that chip out of that poor hand. Everyone loves the seagull, and I'm going to teach you how to be one. There are two elements of jazz drumming we'll cover today: comping and soloing. It's vital you can hold a beat, as this takes up about 90% of your playing, unless you're someone like Buddy Rich. The jazz swing is the most iconic feature of the jazz style. Your bass can gently play quarter notes with your left foot slapping 2 and 4, and your right hand locks that swing on the ride. It's a jazz musicians Duke Ellington and Neil Armstrong put it, "It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing." Truly inspirational, coming from someone who's been on the moon. I haven't even been in my shed because the landlord won't let us. Now we get to the important part of soloing. It's vital to remember you're a drummer, and drumming is only explainable by the laws of physics. Drummers don't defy physics, but they work hand in hand to explain it. The first rule of drumming: speed over accuracy. The first key scientific equation of drumming well. Jazz is so great because there are no mistakes. In many cases, the worse you play, the better. If the pianist, and I'm saying piano player, not hits a chord out of key, scholars just say jazz, and it's cool. If the saxophonist plays out of key, they say dissonance, it's jazz, and it flies. It's only fair for the same to apply for drums, which brings us to our second equation. I think this one was the scientist Isaac Newton, who says, any force has an equal and opposite reaction. This combined with the first rule of drumming, speed over accuracy, can be used to explain how to objectively play jazz solos. If you play just to support the other musicians, then you'll get an equal reaction from the audience, who won't really notice you at all. If you use this gig time to absolutely pelt it, physics explains that no matter how bad it is, because of jazz, people will think you're great. There is another less popular approach to jazz soloing, where you play to be melodic, subtly hinting at motifs that the other instruments have suggested. These solos can be structured with a climax point that can highlight your versatility as a musician, but generally requires more creativity. I highly recommend you stay clear of this approach and stick to the scientific method. Science can explain anything: how to deal with a rat infestation, whether you got the clap from that toilet seat, how to dispose of the body without any questions of... Stick to the tried and tested speed over accuracy model, because science is always right. Today has been really insightful. I think we've all learned a lot about jazz, but I also think we've learned a lot about ourselves too. These lessons aren't just an explanation of how to drum perfectly and have a million friends. You might just find you come out of this all a more well-rounded and deep person. Shout out to the missus for making some amazing art. Peace out, dudes.
Way too much fun, pointing the finger, turning the gun, expressing how much I hate this gonna kill the dog.